Hey guys, and welcome back to G's Autos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, if you saw in the last video, you would have seen that we replaced the rear suspension on the EB. Now it's time for the front end. So everything has been dismantled and removed from the front end. So we'll be replacing the struts, the springs, the rack ends, the tie rods, all the ball joints, including all the control arm bushes, and giving everything a clean and a paint, and also putting kits through the front calipers. So on this video, we're just focusing on the inner guards, the wheel wells, and also rebuilding the front calipers and giving them paint and a clean up. Anyway guys, so I hope you enjoyed part one. If you're enjoying the videos, please give them a like and also consider subscribing to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. We've got some very cool content coming up with the other two projects, plus other projects that are coming. So I really appreciate your support, guys. Anyway, enough out of me, guys. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, so here we are, the front end of the EB. Now if you've been following my Facebook or Instagram pages, you know that I've ripped everything out of the front guards. All the suspension has come out, and all new bushes and tie rods and ball joints are all being replaced, and I'm even putting kits through the front calipers. And the reason I'm doing this video now, I've taken the inner guards out. I'm going to clean up all in here again. I've already done that previously, and I'm going to paint all the wheel wells with black paint. So what I'm going to do now is get in here with a scrubbing brush and degreaser, and I usually go over it 3 or 4 times, make sure it's nice and clean, and then we'll hit it with some paint. So now if you don't know how to take the inner guards out, they're pretty simple. Check out one of my previous videos when I cleaned the wheel wells and painted the protective covers on the inner guard, which we'll have a look at now. So the mud flaps are just held on by 3 little Phillips head screws, so take those off first, and then once you've done that, you can get access to these inner guards, which is just basically, this one here has a little 1/4 inch, the one on the driver's side has a 1/4 inch little bolt, and then you've got these little Christmas tree clips in there as well. But I'll put a link in the description of the previous video, so that way you can get an idea of how to take those out nice and easy. And let's get stuck into this, guys, now. Let's get it cleaned and get it ready for paint. Alright, as you can see, I have removed the calipers. Now, they look very, very average. They look terrible. So I've just got them in this bowl here, just draining out all the old brake fluid. Now, I've removed all the pins, slide pins, and all the old rubbers. They were very dry. Some of them were very hard to remove. And I've picked up 2 brand new minor service kits for these calipers, just to replace all the rubbers and get them back to a nice functioning order again. Now, these calipers are probably going to be media blasted, get rid of all the old crud and filth, and then I will undercoat and paint them, probably in a silver or a black, before going back onto the car. So that's where the calipers are up to. So what we'll do is we'll go have a look at the front end and just see where that's up to. Alright guys, since the weather has turned a little patchy, the rain is a bit on and off, and there's a couple of storms brewing, I thought I would get a start on these calipers. So this is how they look. Yeah, just 0 out of 10 for appearance, that's for sure. And they're about a 2 or 3 out of 10 for performance. So I thought, you know what, let's just have a crack at it, start cleaning them, and see where we end up. So let's do that now. Alright, so here is one of the brake calipers. Now, I've just gone over this with some throttle body cleaner and some Prepsol, just to clean it up. And you know what, it wasn't too bad. Dust-wise and grime, yeah, not too bad at all. So I've then just hit it with some brake cleaner, given this one a wipe down, and it's not too bad. A couple of little, there's some sand there in the corners from a rag. Anyway, all good. What I'm thinking of doing now is actually hitting this with some rust treatment. So it'll just convert the rust to non-rust. How technical is that? All right, let's give that a whirl. Alright, so I finished cleaning it up as you saw before, and I've hit it with the rust converter. So basically it just pretty much turns it all black once it's converted the rust. And it's come up pretty good actually. Now, you might find, let's see, you'll see a little white speck there, and another one there. Now I found what happens is, if you put some of the rust converter on after the first coat has started to dry and it's still a little bit tacky, the second coat dries white. Now, it won't actually wipe off. I tried that with a bit of prep salt. It stays on there, so I'm not too worried about it. So I've gone ahead and I've undercoated one of the calipers. So let's take a look at that now. And here's the one I undercoated. So look, it's come up pretty good. You'll see some imperfections there. See those bubbles there? And some bubbly bit there. That's from the rust converter. So I had a couple of runs, and those runs of the rust converter just kind of bubble up after a little bit of time and turn into air pockets. So once they pop, they produce that. It was just my own fault. I wasn't paying attention. But look, I'm not worried about it. This isn't a show car. So that's the undercoat on this one done. Now, the undercoat I used, that's all I had left. I really like the way this Duplicolor engine primer sprays. It for someone who can't paint, like myself, who's hopeless, this goes down really nice and easy. So that's it for now. So what I'm going to do, I'll have to get in the road and buy some silver, and I'll hit these with a coat of silver, and that's pretty much it. And then I'll start taking all these, the bleeder valve off. I'll clean that up, and then I can put the kits through, get the old piston out, put the seal on. And one of these actually has a cracked piston. So I think that's on the left-hand side one. So that one will need to be assessed once it comes out and see if it's any good. Alright guys, as you can see, the calipers are painted, and I lied. I ended up painting them black. So I had a can of engine gloss black in the cupboard, so I decided to use that instead of going down the road and buying a brand new can of silver. So they turned out really good. I'm very happy. So the go is now to get those pistons out, fit the kits, get everything back to working order, and then pop those in. Alright, so here are the calipers. I have popped out both pistons. Now on this one here, I've actually started cleaning out the cylinder. Now I've removed both the seals. That gives you a better look. Just use some cotton buds to get in between some of these grooves, and an old toothbrush and a soft wire brush just to clean out. See if I can get you a better look in there. Might be a bit hard, but it's pretty clean. So what I'll do now is, look, there's a little bit of surface rust just on that outer lip, but I've cleaned up all the loose debris, and I'll put some fresh rubber grease in there. So what I'll do is now I'll grab those two pistons and we'll take a look. Alright, so here is the left-hand side piston. You'll see the crack there. Look, I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to run with it. It's just on the outside lip. There's no crack. It doesn't travel any further, so it may have been damaged previously when putting the piston back in, or it could have been dropped or something like that. So that's all good. I'm going to go over these with some 600 horsepower. That's really good. Some 600 grit sandpaper. I could use 800. I just don't have any. So I'll just go over that gently and clean up some of this corrosion and muck on there. And I'll go around the outer lip. I'll clean all that up. And I'll do the same with the other one. I'll give that a clean up. It's not too bad. I'll get in that groove, give it a good clean up. Lube it up before I put it all back in. So what I'm going to do now is just watch a bit of TV and sit there with some wet and dry and clean up these two pistons. So as you know, I've cleaned out the sill on the piston. That's that driver there, the left hand one, the passenger one. That's a little bit cracked, and I removed the original rubbers. They were absolutely cactus. That inner seal was absolutely pancaked. That was gone. So I actually had to end up picking that one out using that little picker tool because it was fairly flat in there. So I have cleaned out the sills in there. Hopefully you can see that okay. And what I did, I just actually used a rag to get in there and a cotton bud to run around these corner bits and also in through the sills. So that's what came out of that inner sill. And all I did, I just used some of this brake cleaner and just put that onto the cotton buds and got in there and cleaned out all the old grease. Now what I'm going to do is just smear some rubber grease on the new seal, pop that in, and then I'll pop in the new dust boot. So let's do that now. Alright, so look, I've put plenty of rubber grease in there. You're probably thinking I've put way too much. Maybe I have, but I just want to make sure that that dust boot has enough grease in there, so I've got a really good seal. I know it looks messy, and here is the piston. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some brake fluid, smear it on the outside of the piston and on the base, and in there as well. And so just to get it so it just slides in nice and easy. So I'll put this this rubber boot onto the piston, and then I'll slide it in. All right, I've got the seal, the boot seal on the piston. I know the light's terrible, guys. I'm sorry. And so now I've just got the piston sitting on there. So I'm just going to use a G-clamp and push that one in, and it should go in nice and easy. All right, that one has seated in nicely. Let's see if I can get a better light there. So that's gone in nicely, and I just used the large socket and the G-clamp just to gently slide that one in, and that went in no problems at all. Straight over the seal, the inner seal, so that's all good. Now I've just got to do these outer rubber boots and the slides, so I'll get that done now. Alright guys, the front calipers are done. I'm very happy with them. They've come up really good. All the rubbers are in, the dust seals, all that kind of stuff. So the one thing I did find tricky were these types of rubbers on there. So I did find those a little bit tricky. Obviously my technique wasn't right, not having done it before, but they're on there and everything is good. So I'm very happy with that. Now I will be getting a start on all these control arms. All new bushes are in there, those control arms there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to leave this video now as part 1. And I'm going to get this up and posted so you can see what's going on, and then I'll move on to cleaning up all these control arms, painting them, and same with the knuckles and everything like that. So we'll leave it here, guys. Hope you enjoy this video and keep an eye out shortly for part 2.